morning guys and welcome to my channel. If you've been here before, welcome back. Just real quick popping in here, letting you know that this video that you're about to watch was filmed several months ago before I took my extended leave of absence, my sabbatical. So it was filmed a long time ago, but I still stand by everything that I said, and I will pop back in at the end to let you know anything that I missed. So enjoy the video. So today I'm going to be talking about why I switched to a bullet journal. One of my most popular videos, if not my most popular video, is how I use my passion planner as a bullet journal. If you haven't seen it, you should totally watch it, and I will link it down below if you'd like. But that's one of my most popular videos, and I think it's so funny because literally a couple months after I filmed that video and put it up, I switched completely over to a bullet journal. I switched to bullet journal in May of 2017. Is that right? I switched to bullet journal in May of 2017, and this is actually my second bullet journal. You might have seen my switch a couple of weeks ago at the beginning of January. I was lucky enough to have finished my other bullet journal right around the new year, so it was pretty great. Today I just wanted to talk about why I made the switch and how it's been going, I guess. Obviously pretty good if I'm still using it. This is the longest I've ever used one single planner system, and I think it's because it's so flexible. Like, you can literally, if you start not liking something, you can change it up at any point. In the middle of the week, you can change it up if you really want to. So I don't have my old bullet journal with me to like flip through and explain, and I don't have any of my previous planners because they were just like planners and they just had to-do lists in them. So my passion planner didn't really work out for me. I started like blocking out things in it, which was really great, and I also started making it like all pretty, and that was really great too. I don't know if I have any clips of that to show you because I just don't have that anymore, but I do remember I used the back pages as like a bullet journal type of thing where I did reusable spreads where I could like fill it out and it would be all nice and neat and stuff, and I would use post-it notes to keep up with things, and a lot of you guys in the comments or whoever watched it like really liked that idea and that system, which I did too at the time, but it just evolved more and I didn't like those spreads anymore and I was running out of pages in my passion planner. So I just made the plunge and bought myself a bullet journal. And the way that I set it up the first time around was just much too complicated for me. I didn't use very many of the spreads at all. I feel like this time around it's getting even better and more useful than before. I feel like I use every single page in here except maybe the index, but this bullet journal that I bought had an index already in there. I have a new future log, which is the calendex, and if you want I can go into more detail on that in another type of bullet journal video as I've mentioned before, but the calendex works really well for me. I have a new video planning system, and it's what works best for me. I learned it about halfway through my last bullet journal, so I stuck them all at the beginning this time, and it's just so flexible. Like, if I ever stop using these for whatever reason, I can easily move to a different spread. I can just turn a page and do something completely different, and it's just great. I love the flexibility of it. So I get to like decorate and have like pretty cover pages, which is so nice. And here's February's. I don't have March's done yet, but you've probably seen it by now. If not, I'll link it somewhere. You can use as much room or as little room as you want. Notice like this one is like this big and this one's like this big because it doesn't matter. It's just so flexible. Like, you can literally do whatever you want in this. Now, some people aren't like me, obsessive planners. I'm an obsessive planner for sure. And that's why the bullet journal is so great for me, because I plan everything and I like to have it exactly the way I like. But there are some people out there who just don't use or don't plan as in depth as I do, and they need like a structured thing to just like jot things into, which I totally understand, and you should definitely use the planner that works for you. I just wanted to explain why I switched to the bullet journal. I really enjoy it, and if you haven't tried it, I highly recommend it. There is a bit of a misconception, I think, sometimes, that you have to have like all the fancy pens and the fancy notebooks, but you really don't. You could just have like a regular composition notebook or a spiral bound notebook and go in there and just I use Crayola Super Tips. I don't remember how much they were, but probably like 10 bucks for a pack of like 24. And just a regular pen, and you're literally fine. And you don't even have to use the Crayola Super Tips. You can just use a big pen you find around your house. It's just great. It's so flexible. It's so accessible to everyone, and it's literally amazing. And you don't have to plan in advance, but if you want, you can, and that's just amazing to me. I keep dropping things out of it. I didn't know I had things in it. Yes, that's why I switched to bullet journal. Is that all that I have to say? Now, just an update, several months after that video was finished, I do still use my bullet journal, the exact same one actually. I'm a little more than halfway through it now, but I went through March, I think was the one that I hadn't done yet, and I'm all the way through, I'm about to do July in a few weeks, or in a week. Whoa, it's almost July. But yeah, so I still use it, but I would like to say that one of the things that I mentioned was that a bullet journal is very flexible and that you can change it to work with however you want it to work. So at the time and up through this month, I had been using it as like mainly a to-do list, like my today to-do list, and I would put appointments on there as to-dos. But since getting my life together, as you saw in my previous series, I have a different system of getting things done. So my bullet journal is going to be transforming, and I'm not sure what that's going to look like yet, but July is going to be different than June in my bullet journal, and I think that is just so fun that I can just turn the page and do something different, and that's why a bullet journal is just one of the most amazing planning systems that I've ever come across, because just because my lifestyle has changed doesn't mean I have to get a new planner or a new planning system, because I can still use the same bullet journal, just turn the page and it adapts, and I can adapt it to what I need, and it's just so nice. So if you haven't tried bullet journaling, you totally should. If you want, I can show you the cover pages just real quick of all the things. So I had already done February. This is what March ended up looking like. April, I did a yellow theme because yellow's fun. Coffee and flowers. And then May, I did a blue theme with yellow accents. And this past month, June, I did a green theme. And this next month, it's gonna be red probably with blue because USA, like, I don't know. I know it sounds like it's a lot of work because sometimes it can be depending on how you decide to plan in it, but it doesn't have to be a lot of work. Like, I know people, so for example, Rachel Ost, who I mentioned last week, she does bullet journaling as well for her planning, and hers looks completely different from mine, and she says it doesn't take her long at all. I'll link some of her bullet journal videos below for you to check out. Lots of people bullet journal. You could YouTube it and find so many that go from like super easy and it takes them 5 seconds all the way to like super hard and it takes them hours and hours. Mine takes me about an hour when I want to sit down and plan, but that's only once a month at the beginning of the month, and then it doesn't take me long at all to upkeep it, you know, because this is just how I do it. But as I said, it's going to be changing, so if you're interested in seeing how my bullet journal changes after this month, let me know down below and I will plan in, like, scoot in a video about it. So just let me know and I will do that for you. Back to my regularly scheduled outro. I guess that's all I have for you today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe so you can join my family. Hit the little bell to get notified whenever I post a video so you won't miss it. And that's it. So have a great morning, and if I don't see you later, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.